Good evening. We are bringing you commentary of Arsenal v Villarreal from the Europa League today. I'm your alternative host, Russ Vernon. I'm joined by commentator Mike Harniman, and you're listening to Football Commentary Live. I'll be bringing you updates on the game between Roma and Manchester United. Manchester United leading 6-2 from the first leg, and I'll just run you through the team news for both sides. Starting off with Roma is Mirante in goal, Cazadorp, Ibanez, Cristante, Smalling, Pellegrini, one of the goal scorers from last week, Dzeko, another goal scorer from last week, Rodriguez, Mancini, Pires, and former Manchester United man, Enric Mkhitaryan also played for Arsenal. Chris Smalling is another former Manchester United man in the starting lineup. Edin Dzeko played for Manchester City. On the bench, two goalkeepers of Bo and Futterzo. Then is Santon, Morial, Kumbala, Boev, Severo, Darbo, and Alowiski. As for Manchester United, and they've got David De Gea in goal, Eric Bailly, Harry Maguire, Paul Pogba, Edison Cavani, Mason Greenwood, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Donny van den Beek. The bench is Lee Grant, Dean Henderson, Victor Lindelof, Juan Mata, Mark Rashford, Amad Diallo, Alex Telles, Nemanja Matic, Brandon Williams, Axel Tuanzebe, Scott McTominay, and Anthony Elanga. The referees Felix Breich from Germany, Mark Bosic, and Stefan Lupp, also from Germany, as his assistants. Felix Zawar is the fourth official from Germany. We have got VAR, I'll let you know that is shortly. You have a delegate, is Claude Unavot, and he is from France. I'll just let you know where the VAR officials are from a Manchester United game before we have a look at the build-up to tonight's game. It looks as which the featured game that is, which we are covering, is Arsenal against Villarreal. I'll let you know all the details for that one. Well, the lineups are for both teams in a few moments, and we've got Mike Harniman standing by to bring us commentary on that one. As I said, I'll be providing updates from the game between Roma and Manchester United. Just give you the VAR officials is Marco Fritz from Germany, alongside Sasha Steinman from Germany as well, and the UEFA referee observer should I say, is Jaap Ullenberg. Now we're going to say a very good evening to our commentator for the Arsenal game in Mike Harniman. And Mike, very good evening to you, mate. Looking forward to this game tonight.
Good evening, Russ. Good evening, everyone, as well. Hopefully you're doing well. So this is a massive game in Arsenal season. It's make or break for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal Football Club as well. It's a huge game. None bigger for Mikel Arteta either. So it's a big challenge, but Arsenal have got plenty of good players in their ranks. Got the away goal as well. So hopefully the English side are able to progress and have another All English final hopefully as well, because obviously Manchester City and Chelsea are confirmed in the Champions League already, and Manchester United are probably 75% there themselves because of their 6-2 from the first leg. So barring an absolute miracle, I think they're through and their place is safe. And it's just down to Arsenal now to complete the full house.
Yes, it is, Mike. It's down to Arsenal to complete the full house. Looking at the head to this Arsenal game, then Hector Bellerin is at right back tonight, and it looks as though, according to the TV monitor I've got in front of me, that Bukayo Saka is at left with Xhaka and Partey as the midfield 2 with Aldin and Pablo Mari as centre-back tonight. And then he's a 3 behind the striker of Pepe, Smith Rowe and Odegaard, with Aubameyang leading the line. We're looking at that Arsenal side then, Mike, in this evening's game. Mikel Arteta against Unai Emery, as we mentioned, and looking at the starting lineup. Would you have made any changes to the lineup, or are you pretty happy with what Mikel Arteta has chosen for the starting lineup tonight?
No, I'm very pleased, really. I think maybe Gabriel Martinelli might have been one that a lot of fans and other people might have wanted to see start. But he's a good option to have off the bench as well, as is Lacazette if we need him, and Kieran Tierney as well, of course, back on the bench. So good to see him there as well, the Scotsman. But no, Eddie Nketiah as well, of course, scored against Fulham the other week in the league to salvage a point against them. But I think the lineup's pretty good, really. Of course, Dani Ceballos is suspended for that second leg because obviously the red card from last week's game. But I wouldn't have probably played him anyway. I quite like the lineup. I think the lineup is pretty good. If Saka's going to be playing at left back, as is suggested, then that's going to work as well. Better than having Granit Xhaka there, because at least Saka is a left-sided player, and he's done it for Arsenal before. He's played that position for England as well, so it'd be good to see him there. And of course, hopefully Mikel Arteta can use him as more of a kind of left fullback rather than a sitting left defender, which Granit Xhaka does. He doesn't really get forward too much, but I quite like the lineup. I think it's a good enough lineup to progress. And of course, Aubameyang leads the line as well, and it's a massive game for him. Of course, he scored against Newcastle at the weekend in the 2-0 victory in that one, back in the Premier League, that was. And of course, Elneny scored. He's on the bench today. People might have said Elneny might have got a start in this one because of Ceballos' ban, but obviously not. Mikel Arteta has changed it up so that he's got Thomas Partey and Xhaka in the middle, and I quite like that midfield too. I think when they play together, they play together pretty well. But they've got a good bond and a good connection, so that works pretty well, really. So overall, the lineup for me, yes, is pretty much bang on, yeah.
Yeah, also, mate, if you look at the subs bench for Arsenal, you've got the likes of Lacazette, Willian, Elneny, Nketiah, Martinelli, Nelson, who can literally change a game from an attacking standpoint, and then you've got the likes of Chambers, Cedric, Gabriel, and Tierney as the more defensive options, so to speak. And then with 2 goalkeepers on the bench as well for Arsenal. Obviously, you mentioned there you thought Martinelli might have possibly got a start. If it was 0-0 going into the final 20 minutes of the game, half an hour, 20 minutes of the game, Mike, who would you, and you've got all your substitutes they can choose from left, who would you say would be your first port of call if you was Mikel Arteta? Would it be someone like a Martinelli, or would you bet on someone like Eddie Nketiah, maybe, or would it be Nketiah, or would it be Martinelli, Willian, and Lacazette over Nketiah tonight? First, and Nelson first off, Mike, in your opinion?
For me, I think the first option, if it is 0-0 when we've got like 15, 20 minutes to go, you've got to look at Martinelli. I think Martinelli, you can play him out wide, and you can, he's a fantastic player. Maybe put him on the left and then put Pepe, leave Pepe on the right and take off Odegaard or Smith Rowe. One of the two there. But Arsenal have really got to start out of the blocks quick in this game, and Arsenal have done that. Arsenal have done that last round. Remember when they were, kind of a little bit under the cosh from the 1-1 draw against Slavia Prague, and of course going out to Prague, Arsenal were 3-0 up within about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. And Arsenal, need to have that kind of intensity again today. Of course, Villarreal were a different proposition, and of course, Unai Emery knows, an awful lot about Arsenal as well. But Arsenal really have to start on the front foot and really try and get an early goal. If Arsenal can score within the first few minutes, this really makes for an interesting tie. And then see, whether Villarreal, try and go a bit more attacking straight away, or whether they sit on it a little bit and then just see if they can hit Arsenal on the counter. But Arsenal have to start really bright, and if Arsenal can go a couple of goals up in the first 15-20 minutes again, then it's going to be huge for Mikel Arteta, no doubt.
Indeed, it will be huge for Mikel Arteta. You think, Mike? I know you were saying over a week when we were talking. That's myself, you, and also Matt, and I think Jack was speaking a bit as well. You were saying that if you were to lose this game tonight, then and go out of Europe, you think Arteta would possibly be sacked? Would you, Mike? If you was the Cronkies, would you sack Arteta before the end of the season, or would you give him the last few games of the Premier League season? Because, say, you don't get anyone in between now and the end of the season, and then you have a slump after that, after getting rid of your manager. Would you keep him in till the end of the season, and then you've got a full summer break to fetch a new manager in with the Euros happening, or would you get rid of him straight away?
I think you'd have to wait because there's so few games left of the season. There's no point changing it when you've only got like 5 league games left, 4 or 5 league games left of the season. So there's no point changing it then. But it all depends really on today's game, because if Arsenal do get through to the final, and come back from 2-1 down as they are at the moment, then Mikel Arteta has to take some credit for that, and for being bold with his lineup as well. So yes, it's going to be an interesting game and an interesting end to the season. Of course, Arsenal, really struggling in the league. Normally would have an FA Cup final to look forward to the majority of the time as well, but not this season because knocked out by Southampton, of course, and they were beaten last round out themselves. So they were, beaten semi-finalists against Leicester. And of course, there's no League Cup either. And so this is it. It's the Europa League or nothing. It's the Europa League or bust for Arsenal. And Manchester United are no easy proposition. If Arsenal do get through, neither of Roma. If Roma put off a fantastic comeback as well. Although I do see it being Man United, of course, that progress, as I mentioned earlier. But in terms of the game itself, for Arsenal, it's absolutely huge. And we've only got a couple of minutes until kick-off, but it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal go about their business tonight, I should say. And I'll tell you what, it would be very, very interesting to be a fly on the wall in Mikel Arteta's dressing room right now as well, because you really want to see how he's able to get up to get the players up for this game. And it's a real test of his managerial stamina and his managerial career. Biggest game of his managerial career by an absolute margin. And it's about tonight, really, for Mikel Arteta. And, if Arsenal were to lose, do I think it'll be sacked? Yeah, probably at the end of the season. But it all depends, really, on how Arsenal do tonight.
Yes, I've just noticed, Mike, as the teams have come out on my setting will come out very soon. Arsenal have been forced into making a very late change this evening for the game against Villarreal, and the late change sees Kieran Tierney come in for Granit Xhaka, with Arsenal now playing a back three with Holding, Murray and Tierney, Saka and Bellerin as wing backs, Smith Rowe and Partey as the midfield two, in between Bellerin and Saka in the wing back roles, with Pepe on the right, Odegaard on the left, and Aubameyang through the middle. Do you think Granit Xhaka will be a big miss tonight, Mike, since he's having to pull out very late now? And how do you feel, Tierney, how much do you reckon he'll be ready for this, having thrown in at the very last minute?
That's a massive call from Mikel Arteta to put in Kieran Tierney there. You might have thought maybe you would have put Cedric in, or it gives Saka the opportunity to move further forward as well, I suppose. So it's going to be huge, really, in terms of Tierney. Of course, just seeing here, Granit Xhaka suffered an injury in the warm-up, so it was actually not an injury that they thought he might have had anyway, but something that he had before. And of course, that means that Arsenal were now down a man on the bench as well. But obviously, you can only make the 5 subs anyway. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Kieran Tierney does. Arsenal fans are going to be delighted to see him back in. Maybe not under these circumstances, but Kieran Tierney's a fantastic player. So let's see how it pans out for him tonight. Of course, he scored one of the goals in not the Slavia Prague game, but the game before that where Arsenal got through as well. So yeah, you never know. Kieran Tierney is obviously fit enough, and if he's fit enough to be on the bench, then he's.
Yes, he'll be fit enough to play. I think we may have had a few technical issues at the end with Mike's end. As cannot hear Mike. If you're still with us, Mike, if you can still hear us, Mike, we cannot hear you. So we try and establish those connections in a second.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, Mike. Is the game about to go underway for you?
In fact, the game is underway, and the game's been underway for all of about 35 seconds as they just pan to Unai Emery right now. So
I'll hand over to Mike Harniman for the first half then.
Cheers, thanks a lot, Russ. So that was a late change there for us. Of course, Kieran Tierney coming in for the injured Granit Xhaka, and it's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the captain, on the ball now. Gives it to Emil Smith-Rowe here for Arsenal, and Kieran Tierney straight away into the action now with the captain giving him the ball on the overlap, and it's now with Nicola Pepe. It looks like Arsenal was trying to start pretty fast here, and here's Nicola Pepe now, of course, the man who got Arsenal's away goal out in Spain last week, and he's won a corner off of former gunner Francis Coquelin, who starts for Villarreal. I'll run you through the lineups as well. So Arsenal in goal is Bernd Leno, Rob Holding, and Pablo Mari, Hector Bellerin and Kieran Tierney make up the back line, and Smith-Rowe, Partey, Saka, Pepe, Odegaard, and then Aubameyang, as Arsenal have a corner here, so stay with me a second. I'll run you through the subs and Villarreal's team later, or in a moment. It's whipped in here by Odegaard now onto. It's tied up actually by the Villarreal man. I think that might have been one of the centre-backs. It might have been Albiol. I'm not 100% sure, but that was Smith-Rowe now for Arsenal. And here's Kieran Tierney. And the Villarreal side just hang tight because it's with Nicola Pepe now. And here's Thomas Partey. Switches the play out towards the right-hand side, and there's no one there. Just out of play for an early Villarreal throw-in, and they line up with Rulli in goal, then Perez, Martinez, Albiol, Torres, and Pedreza. The back line with Pereiro, Coquelin, Trigueros, who scored last week, Gerard Moreno, Alcazar, and my man of the match from last week, Samuel Chukwueze. And of course, I mentioned the Arsenal lineup, but the subs for Arsenal: Gabriel, Lacazette, Willian, Cedric, Chambers, Reece Nelson, Mohamed El Neni, the Egyptian, Eddie Nketiah, Matt Ryan, Gabriel Martinelli, and Arthur Okonkwo, the second goalkeeper on the bench. And Villarreal's bench is Asenjo, Funes Mori, Abaka, Rabazeta, Antolin, Espetinian, Alberto Moreno, Pena, Costa, Gomez, Pino, Baina, and Nino as well. And I'll go through the official shortly, as Kieran Tierney has possession for the Gunners right now, and he knocks it on to Pepe and then gets it back as well. And Arsenal were just playing a little bit of keep ball at the moment, trying to be quite patient in their build-up, and it sounds like of course Granit Xhaka is going to miss out, as we said here. It sounds like an injury that is something he didn't know anything about either. So it's hopefully not going to be a long-term injury for the Swiss international there. As Villarreal come forward now with Alcazar, and back to Pedreza, the left back now, and onto him again from that was, I think wasn't Francis Coquelin, I think it might have been Trigueros, in fact. In fact, it wasn't. It was actually Pereiro that time. He's got it back now as well. Is Pau Torres. He's going to knock it into midfield, and it's on to Sorry, on by Alcazar. Now it's Pedreza. It's got the ball from Trigueros there, I think it was. Yeah, it was indeed. It's now up to the number 5, Pereiro. And here's Francis Coquelin. Switches it out to the right side to Perez Martinez as well. And he gives it to Samuel Chukwueze. He's going to whip it in. It's a good effort there by Samuel Chukwueze as well. And Bernd Leno got a strong hand on it and had to parry it wide of the goal for a Villarreal corner. It was certainly dipping as well. And Samuel Chukwueze was showing exactly there the reasons why I gave him man the match last week. He really put in a good show last week and started this game pretty brightly as well. That's the Nigerian. Coming up to 5 minutes played. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0 in this game. Of course, Villarreal leading 2-1 on aggregate after the victory last week. It's Samuel Chukwueze with the corner now. Going to play it short to Pereira. Pereira's going to whip it in. It's gone off the Smith Rowe and into the halfway area of the pitch. There's now Pereira. In fact, it was on to Trigueros by Alcazar. It's given away. Bukayo Saka slips as he tries to pass, and it goes straight through to the Villarreal defender there, which is Pedreza. And Hector Bellerin's able to tidy it up and give it back to his German goalkeeper there, Bernd Leno. Of course, Bernd Leno's made a few mistakes this season, and Arsenal are hoping that he's quite comfortable with this one today in terms of the ball at his feet and not giving any sort of silly goals away or any sort of silly mistakes away. But he's looked quite comfortable in possession at that time. It's now with Rulli, the Villarreal goalkeeper. And now it's Albiol. He scored last week, of course. He has to go back to his goalkeeper again. And it's now with Albiol now again as well. And then out to Perez Martinez, the right back. It's forced back now by Albiol to his goalkeeper again. Villarreal just playing it quite simple at the moment. It's their turn to try and keep possession now. And they've done well there to get it up to Chukwueze as well. Arsenal have won it back there through Nicola Pepe and Thomas Partey helping him out. And Pepe is showing a good feet there. The Ivorian. He's given it to Hector Bellerin now. And he's going to play it in front of him to Bukayo Saka, who's on the overlap. Gives it back to Bellerin again. And he's going to go back to Rob Holding now, the centre back, and across to his partner Pablo Mari. And on to Kieran Tierney. Of course, you're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary as well. I'm your commentator for this one, Mike Harniman, and it's Martin Odegaard for Arsenal now, the Norwegian, on loan from Real Madrid, of course. Beaten semi-finalist, in the Champions League yesterday night against Chelsea. It's Smith Rowe. It's Nicola Pepe now, given away. Samuel Chukwueze now for Villarreal. Beaten Nicola Pepe there. Nicola Pepe is down in the heat, but is going to be all right. It's Chukwueze again up against Pablo Mari now. Pablo Mari's done well to force him back. Gone back to Perez Martinez, and on it goes from Trigueros to the centre back Torres. And on it goes to Francis Coquelin there. Had a good spell with Arsenal. I think it was all of 10 years, in fact. And the ball is put through towards Pedreza and seen out by Hector Bellerin for an Arsenal goal kick there. And it is Mikel Arteta, the man that's trying to get his side really up for this, trying to rally his troops there. He knows how big this game is for the football club. And of course, there was supposed to be protest tonight as well against Stan Kroenke again. Not to any sort of scale as there were a couple of weeks ago when Arsenal lost to Everton on the Friday night at the Emirates Stadium. But there was a good sort of 5,000 or 6,000 that day. There was only about 200 there tonight, apparently. And a real different kind of scale protest, a lot smaller, as a lot of Arsenal fans stayed away, knowing that it probably would have been a smart idea to protest on what is, ultimately the club's biggest game of the season. So apparently they're going to be doing it again as of the coming weekend when they face West Brom on Sunday in Premier League action. So it's Rob Holding to Pablo Marina. It's Kieran Tierney. Now Pablo Marie again, the Spaniard. Up against side from his native country. It's now Smith Rowe to Thomas Partey. Kieran Tierney on to Pablo Marie. Coming up to the 10th minute of the game. Pablo Marie tries to play it long to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka trying to take it round Pedroza. Cut inside. And it's good defending there by Trigaro, who's come back from the midfield. And he's forced it back to his left back, who is closed down well by Hector Bellerin. And wins a throw-in as well there. There's the number 24, the Spanish Alfonso Pedroza. And Arsenal are just penning the Spanish side in a little bit now, as Granit Xhaka is just panned to as well, and he's trying to support the best he can there. Although he's obviously missing out on this one through injury now, and Kieran Tierney's coming in his place. And it's a chance here for Arsenal now. Nicola Pepe is giving it away. It's Trigaro. The shove there by Pablo Marie on, I think that was Pereiro that time. In fact, it wasn't. It was Gerard Moreno that time, in fact. It's now Samuel Chukwueze. It's now Francis Coquelin, former Arsenal man, former Charlton loanee, in fact, as well. Remember a certain game when he was at Arsenal. I think it was Manchester City, where Arsenal went and won 2-0, and Francis Coquelin was an absolute rock in the defensive mid position on that day. And Arsenal, were able to build on that. And here's Chukwueze now for his current side, Villarreal, and the Nigerians just still got it there and had to go back to Perez Martinez, and Chukwueze gets it back now also. It's now with Pereiro and on to Torres, and it's who's that now? That's Pereiro again. Little triangles here. It's Raul Albiol now on to Perez to Samuel Chukwueze, I should say, that time again. Given away, and it's Kieran Tierney now for Arsenal into Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, of course, signed for big money for Arsenal as well. One of Arsenal's bigger players in terms of signings in recent years, and it's had a very hit and miss season this season. A lot of injuries to deal with, of course. Put in a really good performance when Arsenal went to Old Trafford and won 1-0. I think that was his debut, if I believe to be correct, but then he had a couple of other games where he was injured. Was rushed back for the North London derby when Arsenal were beaten at White Hart Lane by Tottenham, the new White Hart Lane that is, and he's had a few injuries, since that as well as the former Atletico Madrid man, and he's looking to really, keep his place in the side now, and he's going to be huge tonight with Granit Xhaka missing out now as well, and Odegaard and Smith Rowe in there, but they're not really natural centre mids, whereas Thomas Partey, of course, is. So that's going to be an interesting challenge there for Thomas Partey. Of course, as I mentioned before, he had a great partnership with the Swiss international Granit Xhaka as well. But of course, that's been broken up today, and of course, it's been broken up for a number of weeks now with Kieran Tierney's injury as well. That meant that Granit Xhaka had to play at left back. Had almost 13 minutes. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0, and of course, the Spanish side still leading by the 2-1 scoreline from last week. And of course, Arsenal only need to win 1-0 to go through via the away goals rule. So the famous 1-0 to the Arsenal would suffice tonight. As Kieran Tierney gets the ball right now. Here's Thomas Partey. It's now Nicola Pepe. Back to Partey again. And it's onto the head of Bernd Leno, but Bernd Leno there was almost caught out by the Ghanaian, and Bernd Leno had to head that one out. It's now with Trigaro for Villarreal. Up against Thomas Partey now, and it's out to Pedroza. And now on to Pereiro, and then back there to Torres, sorry. And Torres has gone into midfield, and it's given away there to Martin Odegaard. I think it might have been Gerard Moreno that gave it away. I think it was. It's now Nicola Pepe for Arsenal. Here's Emil Smith-Rowe. Back to Pepe again, the Ivorian now. Into Thomas Partey. Towards Smith-Rowe, and Villarreal done well there to get it clear. They're defending very, very well so far. And they do look a threat on the counter as well to the Spanish side, managed by Unai Emery, of course, and Francis Coquelin, another former Gunner, as I mentioned before there, just was involved in that bit of play, and it was almost put through to Gerard Moreno, but a little bit too long there. I think it was Trigaro that tried to put the ball through to him. And Arsenal now have possession with Kieran Tierney. 15 minutes played almost. Arsenal are still trailing overall on the scoreboard. But 0-0 on the night as Bukayo Saka's in now for Arsenal. Into the area he goes as well. And he's won a corner here. As the English international. 15 minutes played. A good opportunity here for Arsenal to get a few men forward, and I'm sure Rob Holding and Pablo Mari will go up into the box there as well to kind of try and get on the end of this. Thomas Partey probably as well gets a score for Arsenal since signing from Atletico Madrid, of course. Hector Bellerin's in there as well, as is Pablo Mari, as I mentioned. Aubameyang also. Looks like Hector Bellerin and the number 5 Pereira having a little bit of a tussling match. It's whipped in here. And it's claimed, in fact it wasn't, it was fumbled by Rudy, the goalkeeper. And Villarreal have got an opportunity now to counter with Samuel Chukwueze. He's kind of swapped sides there for a second and back to Pereira, and then on it goes to Pau Torres, and then back to the goalkeeper again. And Villarreal just slowing it down a bit there and going backwards, Arsenal forcing them back a bit. It's now Pedreza, the left back. It's now with Torres, Pau Torres again. The officials, by the way, I haven't gone through the officials yet. I will do it now. Is Slavko Vinca, the Slovenian referee. He's assisted by Thomas Klančnik and Andres Kovacic. VAR is Bastian Denker and Mate Jag as well. It's the 4th official, and on assistant VAR, Powell Gill, UEFA delegate. I will go through in a moment. The ball was almost put through there to Gerard Moreno, and it's well defended by Arsenal and Rob Holding and Hector Bellerin combined to get it back to Bernd Leno, and it's now with Pablo Mari. The assistant, as I said, was Powell Gill, UEFA delegate Danilo Filicioni, and UEFA observer is Hugh Dallas from Scotland. So that is your officiating team. It's now with Nicola Pepe for Arsenal. Good defending there by Pedreza, the left back, the Villarreal Spanish man there. Of course, this is the second game of the Europa League Semi-Finals today as well. Of course, Manchester United against Roma are also playing, and Manchester United have a hefty lead, 6-2 from the first leg. Again, it was also covered here on Football Commentary Live, as was Arsenal's first leg tie last week as well. That one also does remain goalless still. I will confirm with you shortly. But that's loaded. It's with Kieran Tierney for Arsenal anyway. Is who's that now? Bukayo Saka. Now it's Thomas Partey. Rob Holding out to Nicola Pepe. Arsenal have started pretty brightly, but without creating any opportunities for Aubameyang yet. See what they can do and get the ball into the Gabon International. See what he can do with it. Here's Smith-Rowe now. Kieran Tierney whips it in. Headed out there by Pau Torres, I think that was. No, in fact, it was Albiol at that time. Now it's Smith-Rowe from Thomas Partey's ball. Whips it in towards Aubameyang. Tidied up there by a mixture of defenders and the goalkeeper, Rooney, as well. Hopefully, I think it was by Albiol in the end. As Pablo Marie is in possession for the red side of North London. Of course, rivals Tottenham were beaten League Cup finalists the other week, and looks like being trophy. Well, they will be trophyless. The side from the new White Hart Lane, and of course, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal want to try their very best to make sure that they're not under the same boat as well. Hector Bellerin fouled there by Pedrosa. He's up quickly to take this one as well as the Spanish international. To Pablo Marie now. On to Kieran Tierney. Showing no ill effect so far, Kieran Tierney. The fact he's been thrown in last minute shows it seems like he was very up for this game and very ready to start. Here's Bukayo Saka now. Whips it in towards Nicola Pepe, but he's beaten him and beaten the goalkeeper as well. And behind for a Villarreal goal kick. 21 minutes played. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. The game that you're listening to on Football Commentary Live. As Roma and Manchester United are still goalless in the other tie. I'm just looking at some stats from that game. It looks like it's all Roma. They just haven't scored yet. It's Rooney now for Villarreal. It's headed on by Thomas Partey there into Hector Bellerin. Now it's with Nicola Pepe. Nicola Pepe is forced back to Rob Holding, of course, former Bolton Wanderers man as well. Big player for Arsenal. Now Pablo Marie from Kieran Tierney's pass, back with Rob Holding again. On to Hector Bellerin now. Of course, Hector Bellerin knocks it on to Martin Odegaard now. Back to Bellerin it goes again. Of course, both of those. Hector Bellerin came through the academy at Barcelona, and Martin Odegaard's on loan from Real Madrid. And Hector Bellerin in the last few seasons has been linked with a move back to Spain as well. So be interesting to see whether he sticks around at Arsenal in the summer. As Pedrosa's cross is straight into the hands of Bernd Leno, who rolls it out. And Smith Rowe is battling here with Chuck Waisley. He's given it away, in fact, as well. There's poor play out from Leno, and it's now a Pereira chance here for a very I thought it was going to be a shot there, a very dangerous shot there from that area, but they've actually got a free kick here in a dangerous area. I have Villarreal with Pereira being fouled there on the edge of the box by Thomas Partey. I thought he was going to hit it, but then Thomas Partey coming from behind and has fouled him man here. Very dangerous position for Villarreal as well. A good opportunity to test Bernd Leno to see what his concentration, sorry, I should say, for this game tonight is like, considering he was a little bit sloppy there with that last pass, that last bit of play. Arsenal got a few in the wall. They've got Pablo Marie, Thomas Partey, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and there's somebody lying down as well. In fact, it's Smith Rowe, and I can't quite see who it is that's lying down. I think it might even be Kieran Tierney, in fact. There's Rob Holding now alongside Pablo Marie, and Nicola Pepe I think is going to go and get into the wall as well. There's a shot here, it's over the top. That was by, I think that was Trigoro. Let's have a look here. No, it wasn't. It was actually Pereira, the one who won the free kick as well. And that wasn't far away. A little bit of dip on that, and that's netted into the back of the net. But for Arsenal and for Bernd Leno, they're lucky there and a little bit fortunate that they weren't punished on that occasion. The Germans are about to take the goal kick as well. Of course, empty Emirates Stadium. And you can see there the Victoria, the club's crest there, victory through harmony as well, and lots of Black Lives Matter and things like that, banners around. That's now with Martin Odegaard. It's now Hector Bellerin. It's now Bukayo Saka. Going to whip it in. It's now with Kieran Tierney. Shoots, and it's wide of the goal there from Kieran Tierney. Dangerous position for the shot, but Kieran Tierney wasn't able to hit that one on target, but it's wide of the goal. Arsenal still 0-0 here against Villarreal, and it looks like Arsenal are trying to, get Kieran Tierney on the ball a bit here and get him on the overlap and get him forwards, and he's been doing pretty well in terms of that. And as I said before, he's not showing any signs of still having a knock or a niggle to deal with. But Arsenal have a free kick here. There's an offside, in fact. It's quite a frantic pace, as you can probably tell from Smith Rowe there. Got it from Pepe. Now it's Kieran Tierney on the overlap, but he's won the corner here as well. Off of Francis Coquelin. And Kieran Tierney's going to leave it in the D, ready for Martin Odegaard to trudge over to take. The Norwegian loanee. Of course, Arsenal hoping that he can sign permanently, I believe, as well in the summer. Been interesting to see if that's a deal that does get put through. The corner's whipped in now. Here's Thomas Partey. Nicola Pepe. Back to Odegaard. Now Aubameyang. Tidied up there. Now Aubameyang shoots, and Aubameyang's hit the post there via, I think, the hand of the goalkeeper Rooney as well. It's a good opportunity for the Gabon international. Whips in by Martin Odegaard. Headed on a couple of times there by Pereira, and on the last opportunity there, Aubameyang hit that one pretty sweetly. You thought we were going to nestle in the corner there, and it beat the goalkeeper as well, in fact, and it just hit the outside of the post and went behind. But that is the closest that Arsenal will come, or any side for that matter, as the Gabon man and Arsenal captain has just smashed the post there after 25 minutes. It's now Thomas Partey into Pablo Mari. Back with Thomas Partey again. Villarreal have a man down injured. I think it's Samuel Chukwueze. I will confirm shortly. Looked like nobody was around him either. It was a real attacking threat there, Samuel Chukwueze. The Nigerian midfielder, of course, was given my man of the match last week. I thought he was excellent in that game, and he, really got the better of the Arsenal back line, and it looked like, who was that? There was nobody around him, in fact, there. It looked like he just went down. In fact, he was even signaling into the bench before he went down, saying, "I've got a problem," and he just fell down, and he's probably, no doubt, gonna have to come off here. He doesn't signal over to the bench. If that is the case, then he's going to be, if he's going to be fine, and it does look like he's going to be making way, Samuel Chukwueze. So, of course, Aubameyang just a moment ago has hit the post for Arsenal, and this is a little bit of a boost for Arsenal as well. Of course, Samuel Chukwueze, a fantastic player, real sort of wonder kid, really, the young Nigerian, and Villarreal are going to, have to do it without him for the remainder of this game, by the looks of things. I'll find out in a moment who's coming on to replace it. It looks like they're going to just get him all kitted up, and they've got the magic stretcher out as well now. They've got him on a stretcher, so it does look like a serious injury. They had the magic bag, but the magic bag didn't do the trick. So he's stretched it off, and he's in a lot of pain as well. You can see that in his face. Got his hands over his face, so he's very disappointed that he's had to make way here after only 28 minutes of this game. As I said, there was nobody around him either. There was no foul or no Arsenal man near him, as he is going to be replaced by the number 30, which is Pino. Another Spanish one there to add to the ranks of this Villarreal side. As they're now putting the stretcher onto the cart as well to cart it off. They're actually carting it down the tunnel there. It's with Arsenal. Here's Rob Holding now to Pablo Marie. Because that means there'll probably be a few minutes of stoppage time into this half already because of that injury there. Probably at least 2 minutes already. Here's Pablo Marie now. Turns around and smashes it forward. Villarreal try and get it forward there, but it's now Pau Torres, in fact, in possession. To Raul Albiol. On to Pereira. And then back to Albiol again. Because Albiol scored last week for Villarreal, as did Trigueros as well, and then Nicola Pepe got a consolation for Arsenal from the spot. As both sides saw a man sent off, with Etienne Capoue sent off for Villarreal and Dani Ceballos sent off for Arsenal as well, the visitors on that occasion. And of course that away goal for Arsenal could be crucial in terms of the opportunity that they have to get through here. Here's Nicola Pepe now, the man who got that goal. Plays it to Kieran Tierney now. Back to Nicola Pepe again. Nicola Pepe is trying to find Smith Rowe now. It's given away. And Villarreal got the ball here now with Pino, the substitute. Going to be forced back by Kieran Tierney to the goalkeeper there as well. And Rooney clears it long, but only as far as Thomas Partey, who did well there initially, and then I thought he was going to give the ball away to the on-running Moreno there, but it's he done well to get it back a second time. It's now with Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin goes into the area, and he's tried to get the cross in there, but he overran it, and it's now into the hands of Rooney, and he's comfortably got the ball in hands there, and just going to take his time with this. Of course, you're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative football commentary, and I'm your alternative commentator, Mike Harniman. If you want to follow us, you can do so on our social media. We're on Twitter and on Facebook. The Twitter account is at Commentary Live 1. And of course, you can go to facebook.com/footcomlive for your Facebook information. If you want to like us on Facebook, you'll get all the information you need there as well. And of course, we've got some great games coming up over the weekend and the end of the Premier League season and the European season as well. Before going into an even busier time for the Euros. So we don't stop here on Football Commentary Live. A great team of presenters as well that we've got and commentators. Here is Torres now to Trigueros. Good little back flick there from Rob Holding to defend very, very well to knock that onto Martin Odegaard now as well. Of course, lots of great commentators on the channel, as I said, myself, Russ Vernon, Matt Isles as well, Jack Cunningham, John Kane, loads of others, Stephen Coppin as well. Also Elliot, who's hopefully going to be making his debut in the next couple of days or couple of weeks. Nicholas Jones as well. So an ever-growing list of commentators we have here on Football Commentary Live. And if you want to get involved yourself, then just drop us a message and we'll see what we can do in terms of getting you on board. Here's Francis Coquelin. Here's Perez Martinez. Into the area he goes. Straight into the hands of Bernd Leno. It's now with Emil Smith-Rowe. An outsider for the Euros, potentially, Emil Smith-Rowe. Of course, Bukayo Saka is another one that will probably more than likely be taken by Gareth Southgate. Here's Kieran Tierney, of course, his Scotland side are there as well, and it'd be huge for him if he's able to stay fit enough to cement his space there in the Scottish team. Here's Bukayo Saka now. Martin Odegaard. Hector Bellerin. Given away by Hector Bellerin, and now with the back line of Villarreal, and it's hooked clear, but only, in fact, I thought it was going to be an Arsenal throw-in there, but it was kept in. And it's now with Pablo Marie for Arsenal. Almost 35 minutes played, and it's still at 0-0. Again, that you're listening to on Football Commentary Live. Of course, we're broadcasting from our own studios. But, of course, the game, as you know, is taking place at the Emirates Stadium in London, North London to be precise. It's Kieran Tierney now. Gets it back from Nicola Pepe. Here's Pablo Marie. Switches it out to Hector Bellerin, but given away. Pedreza does well there. Chests it and then turns and is able to play it down the line towards Trigueros. And back it goes to Pereira now. And Pereira's going to go back. Is he to his goalkeeper? No, he's not. He gives it to Francis Coquelin, in fact. It's now with the goalkeeper, Rooney. He's going to take a touch or two here and slow it down a little bit. He's going to play it out to his centre back, who's just kind of standing right on the line almost there. Very short pass. It's now back to the goalkeeper again by Perez Martinez. Of course, as I mentioned before, some of the other commentators, we've got John Stuttard as well, JB, involved on the channel. Of course, Barry Swain as well, potentially will be able to bring some games at some stage. It's Kieran Tierney now. Bernd Leno. It's gone behind there. Bernd Leno had to try and take that one first time, and it's a Villarreal throw in here. It's now with Francis Coquelin. On to Perez Martinez via Peño, sorry, I should say. It's now, I think that's, who's that in midfield? Is that Trigueros? Let's have a look. It's given away anyway. It was Trigueros, in fact, and it's now with Thomas Partey for Arsenal. Is Martin Odegaard was held back there as well by Francis Coquelin, the Villarreal Frenchman. Of course, that's a side part of the story with Francis Coquelin as well, playing for Arsenal as he did. And it's Martin Odegaard over this free kick now. Francis Coquelin made over 100 appearances for Arsenal, made 105 appearances in his time at the club. Is Martin Odegaard now whips it in and headed on by Pablo Marie and out of play for a goal kick. And in that time, he didn't score, did Francis Coquelin, but of course he came through and played a few good times in the Arsenal youth as well, 2008 to 2009, and then played, as I said, 105 times between 2008 and 2018 before going on multiple loans and then signing for Valencia and then Villarreal, where of course he's at now, and facing one of his former sides today. Here is Smith Rowe now, onto Aubameyang. Aubameyang looks up and shoots, and goalkeeper Rudy's made a mistake there. He's let that one go through him, but he's able to just jump back on it again. That was good play. Aubameyang cutting inside, and Rudy there looked like he was going to catch it, and he kind of parried it into his chest. It went through his legs, like it kind of bounced through his legs, and he's able just to go back and get it. He's got possession again now, but both keepers have been a little bit rusty there in terms of making mistakes. But gave the ball away a little bit sloppy earlier on in the game, and Rooney there has shown his hands are not completely on point today either. So both sides are, showing their frailties at the back. Here is Gerard Moreno now. It's gone off of Pablo Marie there, and that one could have gone anywhere, really, that effort there. It looked like he could have easily wrong-footed, but no, it was Moreno there, hit the foot of Pablo Marie, and it did have Bernardo scrambling a little bit, but luckily for the Arsenal man, it went behind for a corner ball rather than nestling into the back of his own net. Coming up to 5 minutes left of what has been an interesting first half, to say the least. It's Villarreal on the opportunity here for this corner, sorry. There's an effort there by, I think that was either Albiol or Torres. Let's have a look. Might have been Albiol, let's see. I think it was actually Pau Torres, I will confirm in a moment. But he come off an Arsenal man again. He come off of Nicola Pepe there, or in fact, it was Albiol. I was right the first time. Nicola Pepe or Thomas Partey there. I couldn't quite see who took the nick off. Albiol's in there again. Arsenal were able to head it clear this time, but only as far as the Villarreal. Who's that there? Is that Trigaro? No, in fact, it wasn't. It was Pinho, the sub. And Aubameyang doing his defensive duties there, the captain, to get it behind for a throw. Yeremy Pinho, of course, come on earlier on to replace Chukwueze. Because if you're just joining us, Granit Xhaka was meant to start for Arsenal as well, but he had to pull out last minute due to injury. And the Swiss international was replaced by the Scotsman Kieran Tierney as Man United go 1-0 up as well in Rome. Edison Cavani scores the goal, and 7-2 now to the red side of Manchester. And certainly, I thought before they would have done their bit to get through to the final and potentially make it 2 All English finals. But now, I said before they were 75% there. Now they're probably about 95% there. Here's Bernd Leno for Arsenal. Coming up to the close of this first half. Hector Bellerin with a throw. We'll get a report on that other game with Russ at half time as well. Hector Bellerin throws it down the line to Bukayo Saka. Pedreza there does well. Gives it back to Pereiro. Onto midfield. And it's Yeremy Peña who's had to drop back. And now it's Rudy, the goalkeeper. Switches it out to Pedreza. On it goes there. Was there a foul by Rob Holding? The referee says yes, there was on the number 17, Alcazar. Went through the back of him there, and Rob Holding did have a hand on his shoulder, so you can't complain there. Definite free kick to the away side. Going to be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta says at half time. Of course, he has got options on the bench. He's got Alex Lacazette, Gabriel Martinelli, of course, Willian as well, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah. There's options there for Mikel Arteta if he needs them. But here is Martin Odegaard now into Bukayo Saka. And he tries to get the cross in there, and he's got that one all wrong, and it's gone behind for a Villarreal goal kick. It's good play there from Arsenal, and Bukayo Saka was free on that right-hand side, right-hand side, and he very nearly, could have picked out the Arsenal man there coming into the box, but he really just got his cross all wrong in the end. But Bukayo Saka has been free on a number of occasions for Arsenal there, and the Englishman, who of course could have chosen to play for Nigeria as well, chose Gareth Southgate's men in the end, and he got that one wrong that time. Rooney's cleared it down the line now towards Moreno, but it's Thomas Partey for Arsenal. Back to onto Nicola Pepe now. Wins the throw-in as well, just the Ivorian. Coming up to the close of this first half, about a minute left plus stoppage time, which there'll probably be about 2 minutes of, maybe 3, because of that injury to Samuel Chukwueze. Kieran Tierney throws it down the line to Aubameyang, but it's defended well by Albiol. It's now with Villarreal, and it's on. A good play here now from the away side. It's now with Peño. And what's Peño going to do here? Kieran Tierney defends well, but it's still with Villarreal. They've got it back. And it's out to, I think that might be, it's a number, anyway, I'm not too sure. It was on towards the number 2, Perez Martinez. And there's a free kick here, though. There's a foul on Nicola Pepe, who looks at the referee and says, why you're not showing him a yellow card there. Hector Bellerin now for Arsenal. Will be a great time for Arsenal to get a goal as well just before half time. But they've given the ball away there, as I say that. Cut the commentator, as they say. Martin Odegaard gave the ball away in midfield. As we enter 3 minutes of additional time at the end of the first half. It's Arsenal in possession now with, in fact, it's a throw-in. Kieran Tierney on it. So they pan to Gabriel Martinelli, the man who, of course, a lot of Arsenal fans would have liked to have seen and probably will see at some stage if the score remains at 0-0. As Kieran Tierney takes the throw-in now to Nicola Pepe, onto Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey onto Hector Bellerin. Onto Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka now cuts inside, gives it to Rob Holding. He's had to play it to Pablo Marie, onto Kieran Tierney now. We've had 1 of the 3 minutes of injury time. On to Emile Smith-Rowe now. As he caught there, the referee says carry on because Arsenal have got possession still. As Kieran Tierney gets it back from Pepe and then wins the corner. In a dangerous position here for Arsenal. As Kieran Tierney was just signalling there to one of his attackers to make a run to free up some space. He was trying to feed the ball through to them, but was put behind by the Villarreal centre-back. I think it was Albiol. And Arsenal, as I said before, getting everybody forward from the back again. And it's on by Martin Odegaard this time, this corner. He's going to get it back, as you know. In fact, there's a free kick in there as well as a foul. And the Villarreal man has stayed down. It was Raul Albiol, I think. Yeah, it was, the number 3. He was fouled by Hector Bellerin, I think it might have been. As we enter the last of the minutes of additional time. Mikel Arteta and Unai Emery remaining locked at 0-0 in this second leg. A scoreline that would, of course, suit the visitors. There's a throw in here for Arsenal now. Kieran Tierney, they're going to take it as one of the Villarreal players there is moaning to the referee. I'm not too sure what about. As Mikel Arteta says something to the 4th official as well. I think it might have been Moreno who was saying something to the referee, but I couldn't quite see. There's a free kick here to Villarreal, and they've got a man down as well. Another injury here for Villarreal. It was Smith-Rowe that time up against, I think it was Albiol again. It was actually Albiol that fouled his man as well. And he kind of injured himself while it looked like he was fouling Smith-Rowe, but he's remained in a heap there. In fact, he's back to his feet now. And he's going to take the throw-in. In fact, no, he's not going to take it himself. He's going to leave it for Perez Martinez. He's going to throw it down the line. And it's headed on by the Villarreal attacker there, which I think was Moreno or Alcazar. I couldn't quite see which one. But it's now half-time in this game. And Arsenal have had their opportunities. Of course, Bukayo Saka was in a dangerous area, got his cross all wrong, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang hit the post, which is the main one of note really for either side. But at half time, Arsenal still have it all to do. It's Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0.
Thank you very much, Mike Harniman. And half time in the other match, it is Roma 0, Manchester United 1. Edison Cavani extending Manchester United's lead to 5 goals on the tie. 7-2 on aggregate is the score now for Manchester United. And a lovely ball through to him. It looked as though it may have just been offside. VAR did check it, and VAR said he was onside, and Manchester United now, I would say, barring a disaster in the second half, are firmly on their way to this Europa League final. And if Arsenal were to turn it around, it will be an all English Europa League final, a bit like the Champions League one after Chelsea pulled their place against Manchester City yesterday, beating Real Madrid again, which myself and Matt Isles brought to you this evening. Manchester United, and they've had their backs to the wall for majority of that first half, but Roma failed to capitalise on their chances they had, and Manchester United are in lead at the break. Bit of news which came out from the footballing world earlier and in League One, to be precise, with the team called Ipswich Town, and they've got a new sponsor for next season. The pop star Ed Sheeran, his album is going to be sponsoring Ipswich's shirt for next season. And in my opinion, I think it's going to divide the fan base with that news, which was announced earlier on today. It's probably going to divide the fan base for the big news. And I wonder if there's going to be some good times coming back at Portman Road for the Ipswich fans. And I wonder if Paul Cook takes him up, and if Ed Sheeran will buy him some supermarket flowers, or they say, take me back to London. So that's a bit of football news which happened during today, and some other footballing news and is that Aston Villa have offered their ground to UEFA, and they've also contacted the FA to say that they can play the Champions League final between Manchester City and Chelsea at Villa Park instead of in Istanbul. Bit of other news then in the HMRC is this news broke in the last 23 minutes or so. The HMRC have dropped a 4-year investigation to the Premier League club Newcastle United regarding the transfer payments of former players. Magpies Managing Director Lee Chandler was arrested for a tax fraud investigation operation looming 2017. The club was alleged by HMRC to have made secret payments to agents and players for transfers, including those of Demba Ba, Papi Cisse, and former midfielder Moussa Sissoko. Following discontinuation of the probe, Newcastle owner Mike Ashley said, after 4 years of the club being subject to this investigation, I am pleased the criminal investigation is now being concluded. It is now time for the dark forces that are preventing this football club from becoming the powerhouse. Now the fans deserve to step aside. So that's just some news regarding Newcastle. The Premier League have declined to comment when a media outlet contacted them for their reaction to the news regarding Newcastle United. And just going to switch our attentions now to our live Europa League match between Arsenal and Villarreal, and I'm just going to fetch in our match commentator Mike Harniman to the conversation at half time. And Mike, what did you make to the first half between Arsenal and Villarreal? Do you see signs that Arsenal can get back into this tie, or do you feel it's still a long way off before Arsenal can get anything out of the tie?
So yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for Villarreal to possibly get through here now to another final for Unai Emery. Of course, he's the specialist in doing so as well and winning the competition. But there's been signs for Arsenal. Of course, Aubameyang hit the post, and there's been a few other sort of half opportunities as well. Very sort of quiet in terms of opportunity for either side, really. But yeah, Arsenal, have shown that they can kind of create in this game. Kieran Tierney's looked good as well. Nicola Pepe has been trying to get himself about a bit, as is Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard, and Aubameyang, pretty quiet in the first half, but it only takes a second for him to score, and he very nearly did. So, yeah, of course, it's going to be an interesting second half. Arsenal got to go for it. And Villarreal have lost their star man in Chuck Wesley as well, who was fantastic last week, and he looked quite bright in patches today when he played, before he got injured, and hopefully his recovery goes well. It's never nice to see a player having to be stretched off and sort of carted off down the tunnel and stuff like that on a cart. But yeah, it's a good opportunity for Arsenal to try and get at the Spanish side in the second half, and takes away, Chuck Wesley coming off takes away one of the threats as well. But it's Arsenal can do it. Do I think they will? I don't know. It's a hard one to call, but you're probably going to ask me to put a score prediction now, aren't you? So I don't know.
I'm not going to ask you for a score prediction just yet, Mike, but what I will ask is, if you look at the two managers, Mikel Arteta and Unai Emery, which one of the managers would you think would be the happy with the way the side's performed in that first half? Would you say Unai Emery because his side's still got that one goal lead intact, or would you say, despite also still trailing in the tie and drawing on the night, Mikel Arteta will be the happier of the two managers? Who would you say, Mike?
Unai Emery for me, 100%. His side keeping Arsenal at bay. And yeah, of course they're leading the tie on aggregate as well, and they might not have done an awful lot going forward, but they haven't sort of needed to do that much, and they've defended very well when they've needed to. So yeah, for me, Unai Emery's going to be the happier at half time, going back to the old stomping ground where, of course, he was up until a couple of seasons ago.
Yes, and Mike, as you've seen majority there, when you've seen Unai Emery, I've just seen Unai Emery on my screen celebrating when a chance was saved, when Aubameyang went through, and he went through the goalkeeper's leg, but then he managed to claim it. You see, you've just seen Arteta mainly stand on the touchline with his arms folded, not really giving out many instructions, not shouting the instructions out to his players, expecting his captain, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, to do so. And then you see on the flip side, like I mentioned, you see Unai Emery shouting instructions out to his team. And like, yes, the captain of Villarreal is also doing that, but Arteta's not doing that. It's even down to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Do you reckon that could be a problem for Arsenal, Mike, or don't you see that being a problem at all?
No, I think it could be. I think that certainly could be a problem. Of course, Mikel Arteta is a very new manager, very raw, very sort of fresh, up and coming. This is his first managerial job as well. And of course, Unai Emery, as I said before, has been there and done it all and won the Europa League on many occasions. So it's two different managerial styles, but certainly the fact that Mikel Arteta is struggling to kind of get into that managerial rhythm there in terms of kind of geeing his players up, and it's kind of it's got to be a huge boost for Villarreal to have Emery on the touchline and to have somebody of the passion that he's got. Yeah.
Yes, and Mike, now you mentioned it earlier about I'm probably going to ask for a prediction soon. I will be coming towards that time very, very soon to you, Mike, and we just before the players come back out. But first question is still 0-0. Arsenal need one goal to go through with that all important away goal unless Villarreal get an away goal very early on and then Arsenal going to win 2-1. But say if Arsenal were to get, say if it was still 0-0 going into the final 15 or so minutes. I know we touched upon it earlier, but having watched that first half now, who would you go out there and fetch on? Because instead of having 12 players on the bench now, you've got 11 lost who's to come into the starting lineup. You can put anybody on the bench. But do you reckon someone like Martinelli could come on first for Arsenal, or would you see it being somebody else?
So yeah, it could be Martinelli, it could be Alex Lacazette, of course, as well. If Kieran Tierney's able to come in and do a job, then maybe Lacazette might be fit enough to have 15, 20 minutes or half an hour. If he doesn't come on at half time, of course, as well. But yeah, when I bring on Alex Lacazette, 100%, you've got to get him on. He's shown this season that he's been a real talisman for Arsenal, even more so than Aubameyang. And when Aubameyang's been kind of firing blanks a little bit, Lacazette's been the man to kind of step up more often than not and really make things happen for Arsenal in terms of getting some goals. So Lacazette would probably be my go-to man if that was the case. Yeah.
Yes, and also, Mike, I've heard you mention quite a lot about that, about Villarreal's number 24, the left wing back of Alfonso Pedraza, he was on loan at Leeds United at one stage in his
Yeah.
career as well. What have you made to Alfonso Pedraza so far in that first half for Villarreal at that left wing back role? And do you feel he could do a job in the Premier League? Because when Leeds had him on loan, he was in the Championship. Do you feel he's got a chance of doing a good career in the Premier League? If say someone like Arsenal were looking at him in case they lose some of the key players if they don't get into Europe next season.
I really like him. I think last week he played very well. I think that first half he played very well as well. And he's defended well. He attacked pretty well. I didn't realise he played for Leeds. I did recognise the name, in fact, but I didn't know where from. So obviously from playing in England. But yeah, I think tonight he's played very, very well. I thought he was good last week as well, as I said.
Yes, and also, just another quick one. You've majority, a lot of people probably you've mentioned. Well, Albiolo's been around a fair bit, and but another man you mentioned quite a bit, Markov, is and mentioned quite a bit in that first half commentaries. Francis Coquelin, the former Arsenal man. How do you think he's done on his return to North London with Villarreal today?
He's done very well as well. I think he's looked very assured in the middle of the park. Of course, coming in for Etienne Capoue, who of course was so he is serving, I should say, the ban as well. But now I think Coquelin's come in and fitted in nicely, really. And a lot of Arsenal fans, myself included, know what Francis Coquelin can do, and in terms of his defensive duties, his work rate, is able to get his foot on the ball and kind of pick out a pass, and he's done all of that very, very well, really, today. And yeah, if he has a strong second half as well, then it's certainly a good opportunity for Villarreal to progress. If he's able to help out his backline and do what he's been doing in that first half. Yeah.
Yes, and also, just another quick one. I was just looking the Alfonso Pedraza has been at Villarreal since 2011 in the C youth career. Then went to Villarreal C, Villarreal B. He's been at Villarreal since 2015. Had a spell on loan at Lugo, which is in the Segunda division, so that's Spanish second division. Then he went on loan to Leeds in 2017 from January to the end of the season. Scored his first goal and his only goal for Leeds in 3-1 win away at Birmingham. So that's probably where you've seen him when he played for Leeds in
It was, I think,
the
yeah.
Championship at the time. And he's also played for Spain under 21, so you may have seen him a few times at the under 21 championships that they had between the 2016 and 2019 stage. He's yet to make a senior appearance for Spain so far. So that's another probably where you played. And also, Mikey earned his first cap for the under-21s on 24th of March 2016, the following year, and he came on for on-loan Arsenal man Denis Ceballos early in the second half in an eventual 3-0 defeat to Croatia in the 2017 European Championship qualifiers for the under-21s for Spain as well, did Pedraza.
That would be why then. Okay. The two sides are back out now, by the way, and kickoff will be getting underway in a moment or two.
Yes, so what I'll do, I'll hand the mic back over to your commentator, Mike Harniman. And Mike, the mic is yours, and no pun intended there.
Cheers, thank you very much, Russ, and apologies for Russ's terrible Ed Sheeran jokes to any Ipswich fans that are tuned in as well. He didn't actually mention in regards to Crawley as well, getting taken over by Domino's. I thought he was going to say that he now fancies a pizza. But anyway, here's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Rob Holding for Arsenal as the game gets underway again. Of course, Arsenal just needs one goal to progress. If it's a 1-0 scoreline, that's good enough for the home side. Of course, the only way that this can go to extra time is if there's 3 goals in the second half and Arsenal go and win 2-1. Of course, the same score as what Villarreal won last week. And it's with Arsenal now. And Rob Holding has possession. In fact, now it's with Pablo Marie as well. As I've just got to move my notes over here onto Bukayo Saka that time. And it's headed by Rooney in behind for a throw. And Arsenal are starting quite bright by the looks of it in the opening minute of this half. Hector Bellerin now onto Pablo Marie. When it goes now to Smith Rowe. Now Kieran Tierney. Tries to find Nicola Pepe. Nicola Pepe shoots and it's wide of the goal. It's good play there for Arsenal. Nicola Pepe was in space. Kieran Tierney chips the ball through, kind of chips it past 2 defenders onto Nicola Pepe, and he fires that one wide of the goal. But another opportunity there for Arsenal, and he got them through there. Albiol was the man just ahead of him as well, and that one was not too far away from testing the goalkeeper, Rooney there, who's just given the ball straight to Odegaard now, and Arsenal are in possession with Partey. Here's Smith Rowe. Started brightly the Gunners in the opening minute or 2 minutes of this half. Nicola Pepe now, the Ivorian again. Here's Kieran Tierney. Back to Nicola Pepe. Kieran Tierney back to Pablo Marina. Now it's with the Ghanaian Thomas Partey. Gives it to Smith Rowe. Kieran Tierney switches the play there and it's gone off with Pedreza. And he's defended very well there, the former Leeds loanee. And he's also, I think he won a throw in fact as well. Some of the Villarreal substitutes go up and warm up now. Carlos Bacca being one of them, of course. The striker there, the Colombian man. It's now Bukayo Saka is given away. In fact, it's Pereira now. Knocked on by the Villarreal man, which I think was Trigaro, I think. But anyway, now it's Kieran Tierney's got the throw now. It was Pino that time, I believe. He was up against. In fact, it might have been, was it Pino or Moreno? One of those two. Kieran Tierney now hooks it into the halfway area. That's where the centre circle, I should say. That's now Kieran Tierney's won a throw there. We remain unchanged for both sides. As the only change, of course, is Chuck Wesley coming off for Pino at the halfway point of the first half of Villarreal, and Kieran Tierney in for Arsenal to replace Granit Xhaka just before the game. It's Bukayo Saka now onto the overlapping Hector Bellerin. There's a chance here for Smith Rowe. Thinks it, and he thinks it wide. Nicola Pepe was in there as well. Not too sure whether Smith Rowe kind of got caught in two minds there of whether to shoot or to pick out the Ivorian man. Aubameyang was up there, really got a hand on it, and it looked like Smith Rowe was trying to just direct it into the corner there. Took a touch, and he tries to direct it, but it's wide of the goal, and Nicola Pepe was in there as well, but wasn't able to find his teammate either. Arsenal started brightly in this first part of the second half, though. Had a couple of opportunities already. Really going for it. Here's Nicola Pepe now. Down to Aubameyang. Smith Rowe back to Aubameyang again, giving away. Here's Coquelin. Tries to find the striker there, which is Alcacer, and given away. Thomas Partey now to hit the Bellerin. Here is Martin Odegaard now. Tries to find Bukayo Saka, but it's a short, sloppy pass and given away. Now it's given away by Trigger though to Saka. Now Aubameyang into Smith Rowe. Whipped in. Now it's with Nicola Pepe. And he fouled his man. There's a Villarreal centre back down. It might be the captain Albiol, who was in the wards beforehand, and it's a head injury. So I think Nicola Pepe's got a head injury there alongside him. Was either was it Albiol or was it? Let's see, I think it might have been Albiol or Pau Torres. I think it was actually the latter. In fact, it was no. In fact, it wasn't. In fact, it was the right back, Perez Martinez, and Nicola Pepe, the two men involved. 51 minutes played. Villarreal still holding Arsenal to this 0-0 scoreline in a game that you're listening to on Football Commentary Live. I'm your alternative commentator, Mike Harniman, and back again on Saturday as well, alongside Matt Isles, to cover the Premier League game between Manchester City and Chelsea. Of course, the two sides that are going to be meeting in the Champions League final, and the other English side, Manchester United, are going to be progressing to the Europa League final to play the winners of this game. There's a 7-2 up at the moment in terms of on aggregate. 6-2 last week, and then 1-0 on tonight's game. And I'm just going through some checks there, the normal checks that they've got to do to make sure that you're not concussed and that kind of thing. They're just showing that Smith Rowe chance again, and it was a little bit fortunate there. Really kind of had a little bit of a wry smile to one of his defenders. I think he knew that there was an opportunity there for Arsenal to get a goal and to level it up. It is that goalkeeper Rulli now in possession. Villarreal number 13. Plays it down the line only as far as Rob Holding, who takes a touch and then gives it to Odegaard, and Holding back to Thomas Partey now. Given away to Pino. There's a couple of men here for Villarreal. It's now the number 7, which is Gerard Moreno, and couldn't get the ball controlled there from under his feet, and it was fired softly at Bernd Leno, who didn't have to move, to be honest. It's Hector Bellerin. Now it's the number 17, Alcacer. Back with Torres. Now it's Trigger. On to Pedreza now. And it's now Torres again. Pau Torres. And it's now into Pereiro. In fact, it was Trigger again, sorry. It's given away now. Pablo Marie to Martin Odegaard, but couldn't quite get the ball under control there. It's now the number 7, Gerard Moreno. Giving it away though. Hector Bellerin is able to just take a touch and play it across to Rob Holding. Across to his centre-back partner. And then back to goalkeeper Bernd Leno, the German. Of course, a lot of Arsenal fans slating Bernd Leno a little bit in recent weeks, and Matt Ryan, of course, was preferred to him for the victory against Newcastle on Sunday. With one eye on this tie. It's Nicola Pepe now. His cross is straight into the gloves of Rulli. He come out and claim that very well. Did the Villarreal Argentine. It's now with Trigero, sorry, and out to Pedreza now. He's had to go back to Torres and into the midfield now. I think that's Trigero that time. It's now with Francis Coquelin. Back it goes to Trigero again. On to Gerard Moreno now. Given away. Rob Holding does well there. On to Bukayo Saka. Martin Odegaard now on the amazing run in midfield. Is Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney to Nicola Pepe. Back to Kieran Tierney again. Loses possession. That was good defending by Perez and Martinez, I think it was. Yeah, it was indeed. It's now a free kick here as the referee. No, in fact, he's going to play advantage there as Villarreal keep the ball. And in fact, it's gone out of play for an Arsenal throw, so he's not going to put it back for the foul there. Is the referee Slavko Vinčík. It's Pablo Marina for Arsenal onto Bernd Leno. For 10 minutes of the second half. Again, that you're listening to on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. And of course, you can follow us on our socials as well, which I'll let you know in a moment as Smith Rowe was played through by Bukayo Saka. But Albiol's done well to tidy it up, and he's coming out of defence as well. Gives it to Trigero now. That's the shot. It's come off of Holding and also off of Bellerin. But only as far as the Villarreal man. Now it's the number 5, Pereira. Got the ball from, I think it was Moreno. It's Pino the substitute now. Francis Coquelin. Forced back to Pau Torres onto Raul Albiol. Of course, you can make 5 subs as well. Both sides. Actually, no, I don't know whether that would count as a substitution for Arsenal. In fact, it was before the game. So Arsenal have 5 subs available, I believe, and Villarreal still got 4 more. Here's Pino, that man I was on about, the substitute that come on in the first half. Here's Nicola Pepe now. Given away by Thomas Partey. Here's Perez Martinez onto Coquelin. Arsenal defending in sort of banks of 4, 2 banks of 4 at the moment. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang kind of just dropping back to help out as well. As it's with Pau Torres on to Pereira. Here's Gerard Moreno now. Into Pino, and Pino's cross comes off of Bernd Leno, and Bernd Leno gets a hand on it. And it looks like it's gone behind for what I would have said was a corner ball, but it looks like the referee has flagged it for a goal kick. But in fact, I think the referee called it right in the end, and the officials, in fact, it did come off Bernd Leno's glove. So, in fact, they have given the corner in the end as well. Didn't think they were going to give the corner for a moment, but they have done now. As Roma have equalised against Manchester United, and it's Edin Dzeko, the former Manchester City man, who has got the Roma goal and has given them a very slight glimmer of hope in that time. 7-3 on over it now. And it's now with Villarreal and Pau Torres into the hands of Bernd Leno. Claims that one comfortably. Here's Thomas Partey for Arsenal. It's now Rob Holding. On to Martin Odegaard. Hector Bellerin. Back to Rob Holding again. Now is he going to switch the play here to Pablo Maris, centre back partner? On to Kieran Tierney now. Played it down the line. Touched by Smith Rowe. Good skill by Smith Rowe as well. It's good defending there by the Villarreal. It's Odegaard. Good block there. By I think that was Pereira. Finds The long ball towards Pino first. Kieran Tierney and Pablo Marie just got there ahead of the on-running Alcacer as well. The striker was sniffing it out there, and the Arsenal backline done very, very well to get that one all the way back through to goalkeeper Bernd Leno in the end. It's now with Martin Odegaard. Coming up to 60 minutes. Martin Odegaard's gone down injured here. To wait and see what happens with this as Villarreal have an opportunity to whip it in, and it's good defending. And Arsenal have another man down now, and I think it's Pablo Marie injured as well. I think Arsenal, in fact, now have 2 men down injured. Pablo Marie and Martin Odegaard are both down in a bit of pain at the moment. And Mikel Arteta might be forced into making 2 changes here, but Odegaard is banging the turf there. He's not very happy with something. As out comes Steve Round, the Arsenal assistant, to come and have a chat with Mikel Arteta. It's collision there with Trigoro, the foul there, well, not the foul, so the one that left Odegaard in a heap. Pablo Marie is still down. Which is showing this opportunity for Villarreal again, which is straight up Bernd Leno. Done well there to claim that one as well. Eventually did the German. Unai Emery's complaining about something. He was in that build-up from Moreno as well. I don't know what he was complaining to the officials about. I'm not too sure whether he was claiming a potential hand or foul in there somewhere. As Gabriel Martinelli, the Brazilian, is getting ready to come on for the home side. See who's going to come on in place of. Might be potentially Martin Odegaard, although Pablo Marie is still down, so there might be a second sub in the offing as well. As the officials, the referees just coming over to check on Pablo Marie and to say, can you speed it up a bit, or let us know if you need to make a sub. As he's gone off now, as Pablo Marie, he walks off there. Literally was right on the edge anyway, to the edge of the pitch, so he's had to take one step and he's now off. And it looked like the Villarreal were claiming a possible penalty with him against one of the attackers. And there might have been what Emery was complaining about with Alcacer, but the referee said there was nothing in it anyway. And it's now with Kieran Tierney and Thomas Partey's dropped back to centre back to fill in for Pablo Marie for the time being. And his first involvement in doing so is to smash it out of play for a Villarreal throw-in. As Pablo Marie is now entering back into the fray. Of course, Gabriel is the option on that left-sided centre-back role with Pablo Marie. Can't continue. But it's the other Gabriel Martinelli, the one that is going to be introduced any moment now. As Villarreal have possession here with Pedreza. And now it's on to Torres, and you can take a couple of touches and bring it into midfield. And then switch it out to Perez, Martinez, and on to Pino. Trying to find Aubameyang Arsenal there, but wasn't able to do anything with it. It's now the number 3, which is Albiol. Here's Pereira. Back to Albiol again, switches it out to Pedreza. On to, I think that's Moreno that time. Into Alcacer, and then back to Francis Coquelin. Now it's Pereira. Trying to switch it out to the number 2 there, which is Perez Martinez. On to Pino. Back to Perez Martinez one more time. And it goes to Pereira. On to Raul Albiol. Villarreal's third captain. Oh, sorry, of Villarreal's captain, I should say, sorry. course, the man that scored last week as well. One of the men that scored for them last week, and it's with Trigro just a moment ago, the man that scored the other goal as well. It's now with Pino. Out it goes from Moreno onto Perez Martinez, and seen behind by Pablo Marie for a corner ball. To see as Mario Gaspar is his actual name on the back of his shirt there as well. Just seeing if he was in an offside position there, but the official said no, he wasn't. I wonder if Arsenal will wait. They probably won't make a substitution from the corner. Probably be after this, as Gerard Moreno. In fact, no, it's not. In fact, it's Pereira that trudges over. The number 5. He's been taking a lot of their set pictures, in fact. And towards the head of Raul Albiol, it's headed up into the air and then tied up in the end by Hector Bellerin. And Villarreal are able to hook it forward by Torres, I think it was. And it's now with Nicola Pepe, and he couldn't do anything there as Mario Gaspar, aka Perez Martinez, just gets ahead on it and knocks it behind for a throw. And we are going to now see Gabriel Martinelli enter the fray to replace Martin Odegaard. I called that one correctly, because Martin Odegaard did have a bit of a knock just a moment ago as well. So Mikel Arteta's not going to risk him anymore. He's going to bring on the Brazilian instead in his place. And Arsenal now have a front three of Pepe, Martinelli, and Aubameyang. No Lacazette, of course, still on the bench as well. So Mikel Arteta didn't want to give him 25 minutes, maybe 25 minutes is too much for the Frenchman, apparently. Here's Bernd Leno now for Arsenal. Here's Hector Bellerin now. Nicola Pepe onto Bellerin again. Arsenal still need that goal as well, remember. But they have had a few chances at the start of the half. And they've done very well so far to shut out Villarreal at the other end as well. Is Bukayo Saka now. Good defending there by Raul Albiol when it's off of Aubameyang, and Villarreal win the throw. Villarreal attacking this second half from left to right, and Arsenal right to left. Here's Mario Gaspar again, right in front of his manager, Unai Emery. Throws it into the. You got it back anyway for it too. I think it was Moreno, but you got it back anyway. And now Mikel Arteta is going for a sprint down himself. He wants to get the ball back in play as quickly as he can. There, the former Arsenal captain, of course, turned manager these days. He's just really trying to get the urgency of the side up as well. Here's Kieran Tierney now, onto Bukayo Saka. And Villarreal got a few men forward here now. It's now with Pino, the substitute from the first half, up against Tierney. Here's the number 19 now. So, no, in fact, yeah, it was Coquelin, it was, yeah. Now Pereira. Torres onto Albiol now, back to Pau Torres again. Time is really getting away from Mikel Arteta's man at the moment. About 22 minutes left of this game. It's now with the number 30, Pino. Knocks it back. Perez and Martinez onto Albiol, and now it's with Rulli again. Onto Rulli, the goalie, sorry. And now it's with Pau Torres. And here's Rob Holding now for Arsenal. Is he going to go back to his goalie? He goes back to Leno, and Leno got away with one there. He kind of let it hit himself on the shin, and he kind of bounced up, and he was a little bit fortunate there. He was able to get it clear in the end, and couldn't control the ball very well there. He got his feet a bit muddled up there, did the German goalkeeper. It wasn't the first time either, as Villarreal looked to make a sub. Carlos Bacca, the Colombian, coming on. Looks like they're going for it, trying to get this game sealed up. Here's Aubameyang for Arsenal now. Towards Nicola Pepe. Nicola Pepe in towards Aubameyang. Good defending by Coquelin. It's now with Thomas Partey. On to Rob Holding. 20 minutes or so to go, plus stoppage time. Here's Thomas Partey again. Pablo Mari. Out he goes to Gabriel Martinelli, the Arsenal substitute. Cuts inside. Good play there by Perez Martinez to defend it there. It's now with Gabriel again. Gabriel Martinelli, that is. Is he fouled here, Bukayo Saka? Yes, he is. Francis Coquelin fouls him. Opportunity here for Arsenal to get a few men in the box. Rob Holding's up, as is Pablo Mari as well. Kieran Tierney, I think, is going to the edge of the box. Getting ready for a shot. It's going to be Bukayo Saka. He's going to take this free kick. Just 70 minutes gone. Just about 20 left. We'll find out who Carlos Bacca is coming on for soon. As you see, Danny Ceballos there in attendance, watching on. Going to be Bukayo Saka or Smith Rowe. Who's going to take this free kick? It's going to be Saka. And it's headed by Rob Holding, but over the bar. And didn't even test the goalkeeper Rudy there. It was too high and not on target. It was not in no danger of troubling the Argentine there in the Villarreal net. It was far too high there. And was a good play from Rob Holding to get the better of his man, Perez Martinez, but he's not able to direct it on target. And Rice Smile as he runs back to his centre-half position. As Alcazar is making way now to be replaced by Carlos Bacca, a man that really lit up one of the World Cups for Colombia not that long ago. I think it was only a few years back. And Arsenal are really going for it now, as you can see. Alex Lacazette. So both number 9s are on now. Villarreal's number 9 is on, and Arsenal's number 9 is just about to come on. Here's Nicola Pepe. Bukayo Saka, Hector Bellerin. On to Rob Holding now. Here's Thomas Partey. Bukayo Saka now. I wonder if it's going to be 2 up top for Arsenal. If Aubameyang and Lacazette will both go up together. As it's now Roma 2, Man United 2 in the other game. Kieran Tierney now for Arsenal. Here's Thomas Partey. Has a shot there, takes a deflection as well. It's gone behind for a corner. It's about 17 and a half minutes to go for Arsenal now to get their way back into this one. Get that all-important goal that they need. And it's going to be Bukayo Saka. Is it with the corner or Nicola Pepe? Let's see what side it's on. It is Bukayo Saka. Pepe is just there for a short one, but he's not going to use him. He goes into the box, and it's headed clear by the Villarreal man. I think it might have been Torres. I couldn't quite, or Pereira, I couldn't quite see. Whips in towards Rob Holding, and Rob Holding heads it, and it's wide of the goal, but that had Rooney scrambling there. And yet again, that's twice for Rob Holding. He's come close in the last couple of minutes. That time was closer than the other one for the English centre-back. And Arsenal are pulling the strings a little bit now in terms of trying to create these chances. Here's Thomas Partey. Still awaiting the entry of Alex Lacazette as well. Here's Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli in towards Thomas Partey. And there's a foul there. And it looks like it's going to be a free kick for Arsenal. Thomas Partey, or is it? Let's have a look. Was it a free kick for Arsenal or a free kick against Arsenal in the end? Gabriel Martinelli to Thomas Partey was caught on the edge of the box by I think it was the number. Let's see. Couldn't quite see, but there's certainly a free kick. In fact, it's gone against Arsenal. I think there might have been an offside in there. Yeah, there was. There was an offside in the build-up. This is Rudy to take the goal kick. Oh, sorry, the free kick, I should say. Pablo Mari. Here's Carlos Bacca now. Pino. Trigaro. No foul. Here's Thomas Partey. Here's Bukayo Saka. Now to Emil Smith-Rowe. Nicola Pepe now. Nicola Pepe for Arsenal. Goes back to Thomas Partey. Is Pablo Mari. Still awaiting Alex Lacazette's entry into this game is Gabriel Martin. Sorry, not Gabriel Martin. Kieran Tierney, I should say. Now Pablo Mari. Now Rob Holding. Now Smith-Rowe. Back to Holding again. The two Englishmen combining. Onto Nicola Pepe. Smith-Rowe now. Here's Pepe. Here's Partey. What's he going to do here? He's going to go across to Kieran Tierney. Is he going to go in front of him to Gabriel Martinelli? Or what's he going to do here? He does use Martinelli. Martinelli cuts inside. Of course, Martinelli scored a wonderful goal. I think it was last season against Chelsea where he just ran the whole length of the pitch, and that's what Villarreal have to be careful with him on the pitch. Here's Bukayo Saka now. Now Pablo Mari. Kieran Tierney. It's gone through to Gabriel Martinelli, but it's actually gone behind for an Arsenal throw in there off of Perez Martinez. And I wonder if this is going to be Alex Lacazette's time to enter the fray. It is indeed. Although Bukayo Saka wants to take this corner first of all. Takes it better and kind of in a bit of a tussling match again. Bukayo Saka whips it in. Here's Martinelli, and it's taken a nick. There is it, and gone behind for a corner on the other side. In fact, no, it hasn't. I think it's just a shot that ended up off target. Let's see. Gabriel Martinelli. Yeah, it was just away with effort off target. And Rudy's going to take his goal kick here for Villarreal. And Mikel Arteta, I think he just had a word with Lacazette there and said, make sure you're ready. Looking to get himself a goal there, the Frenchman as well, to become Arsenal's saviour when he gets onto the field of play. See whether Aubameyang is the man to make way or whether he partners the Gabon man. As Moreno went down there and the referee's gone over to him as well because he's remonstrating with him a little bit from on the floor still. They keep panning in on Alex Lacazette and Willian as well. It's coming on. I'm not too sure which one of those players it sort of means more to have them playing. Means more to have a good performance because Willian has been very under the radar at Arsenal. He's really not been very up to standards from sort of recent years when he was at Chelsea. It's whipped in now by Pereira. It's through there to Bernd Leno. Comes out and claims that. Got 12 minutes left. Still Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0. As Nicola Pepe's in possession here. On to Hector Bellerin. Into Aubameyang. And Aubameyang heads it. It's hit the post again. That's twice that the Gabon international has hit the post. That one hit the inside of the post that time. And it really did look like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was going to head Arsenal into the lead there. And it's so unfortunate not to see that one nestle in the back of the net. It's good play down the right-hand side. Hector Bellerin whips it in onto the head of Aubameyang. Got up very well. Beat the defender. And heads that one. Beat Rooney as well. And it's off the post. And Arsenal ever so close there to getting that all-important goal that they need. Put clear by Raul Albiol in the end as well. Mikel Arteta jumping in frustration. As Aubameyang has made way, that was his last action for him, and he's been replaced by Alex Lacazette. So the captain's night is over. The captain cannot decide anything in this game from now on. And Willian has come on to replace Kieran Tierney, so Kieran Tierney does not make 90 minutes either. Which probably sees Bukayo Saka go to the left back again as well. In fact, I think it does. It does indeed. And he got his head on that one, as was Pino. And Pino, was he fouled by Saka? The referee said it's just gone behind for a corner, I believe. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could have had a goal, could have potentially had 2 goals today. He's hit the post twice for the home side. And certainly they'll rue those misses if they do end up exiting the Europa League at this stage. Because potentially Arsenal could miss out on European football altogether as well. Not finishing in the... Oh, it's an opportunity there for Villarreal, and it's Pereira, and it's into the hands of Leno. Not finishing in the top 4, of course, and unlikely to make it into the Europa League places through the league as well. And if that's the case, that's 25 years since Arsenal haven't made it into European competition at all. Here's Pepe, Smith Rowe, towards Lacazette. There's a coming together there between him and Raul Albiol, and the referee has favoured the defender. He's done very, very well, has Raul Albiol today, the Villarreal number 3. Done a good performance for them. Of course, I'm going to start thinking about my man of the match as well, as we've only got a short while left, about 9 or so minutes of the game plus stoppage time. So I will keep that fresh in my mind. It's on by Hector Bellerin, but not Hector Bellerin, sorry, Pablo Mari, back to Leno. Here's Pablo Mari again, now on to Willian. Willian for Arsenal now, on to Gabriel Martinelli. Still a bit of time for the Gunners, but it is running out. Here's Thomas Partey now. On to Rob Holding, on to Nicola Pepe. Good feet by the Ivorian. And he loses out there to Figueroa, and it's now with Moreno. He's got a couple of men in support as well. He turned Rob Holding very well, and he's on a marauding run into the Arsenal half now. Going to hold it up here and then knock it back to Pedreza, I think that is, via Figueroa, and then on to Torres. And now it's Francis Coquelin, and then all the way back he goes to his goalkeeper, Rooney. He's closed down well by the Arsenal attacker there, but he's not able to win the ball off him. I think it was Gabriel Martinelli that time, I believe. It's now with Bukayo Saka. 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time until Villarreal can celebrate. Unai Emery can potentially celebrate a victory over his former employees. Here's Bukayo Saka. On to Pablo Mari. Switches the play. This is going to get kept in by Hector Bellerin. In fact, it's Pedreza there, very well defended. And he knocks it in front of him to Trigger, I think that was. It's now with Smith Rowe. Now it's Thomas Partey. What's he going to do here? He's had Willian in support. He's gone to Saka instead. Bukayo Saka on to Willian now. What's Willian going to be able to do here, the Brazilian? Former Chelsea man, of course. Whips it in towards Alex Lacazette, and it's headed behind off of Pau Torres for what is going to be an Arsenal corner. Villarreal, maybe the nerves are starting to settle in a little bit there. Knowing that they're not too far away from a European final. You wouldn't put it past Unai Emery to win it again with another side as well. The former Arsenal manager. There's a collision here in the box, and Lacazette went down, was held back by Torres, but the referee said nothing given. It actually looked more of a coming together when you look at it back from a different angle, and Pedreza hooks it out for a throw in. And Arsenal are trying to G somebody up here. I'm not too sure who Mikel Arteta was trying to G up, whether he's looking at getting another final sub on. Maybe it might be Eddie Nketiah. We shall find out in a moment. Here's Willian. Here's Rob Holding now. It's now with Pablo Mari. Arsenal are leaving it very, very late. Now Bukayo Saka into Willian. Willian loses out. Here's Perez Martinez now for the away side. In fact, it's not, it's Pino. He was caught, was he, as well, by Martinelli. The referee says yes, he was. And 5 minutes to go for Arsenal to salvage their European hopes. Their season as well. Possibly even Mikel Arteta's job. So it's Villarreal with Pereira now. Towards the number 7, Gerard Moreno, and it's seen behind by Bernd who goes and picks it up and is going to try and keep this one long. Is he? No, in fact, he goes short to Pablo Mari. Gets it back. Here's Bernd again. Plays it long this time towards Lacazette. Given away by Arsenal there, by Lacazette to Coquelin at the time. It's a free kick here. Pablo Mari gone through the back of Pino. And we've seen the first yellow card as well. It's taken almost 86 minutes. And we've had somebody go into the book, and it is the Spanish number 22 for Arsenal, Pablo Mari, the first yellow of the game. It's been a very competitive game. It hasn't been a dirty game. In fact, Pino's got a booking as well for saying to the referee to book Pablo Mari. I think they might have both been booked there. He gestured to the referee with a card. So I think there's 2 bookings there, one for either side. But I'll confirm when I know. It's towards Moreno now from that free kick onto Bernd Leno, who kind of claims that easily. Bowls it out to Nicola Pepe now. Into Thomas Partey. Gives the ball away there to Partey as well. Now it's an opportunity there for Villarreal. It was Pino, I think it was, trying to find Bacca, but it's Leno who comes out and claimed it. It's now with Willian. On the overlap is Gabriel Martinelli. Into Willian again. Willian for Arsenal. Raul Albiol is defended like a rock tonight, and he's done it again there. Very, very good defending from the Villarreal number 3. Now Smith Rowe. Out to Willian. 3 minutes to go for Arsenal plus stoppage time. Whipped in towards Lacazette. Martinelli, Lacazette on towards Bellerin. Bellerin shoots, but it's blocked. Bellerin gets it back towards Lacazette and Martinelli, both in there. And it's gone behind for what turns out to be a goal kick, I think. Or is there an offside flag in there? Let's see. I think there might be an offside flag against Gabriel Martinelli, in fact. Or Lacazette. Anyway, it's all that matters is it's still Arsenal 0 and Villarreal 0. Time rapidly running out for Mikel Arteta's men. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Of course, you're listening to Football Commentary Live as Roma go 3-2 up against Man United. 8-5 on aggregate to the Red Devils at the moment. They're certainly going to go through. And Chelsea and Man City are going to contest the final of the Champions League. And it looks like Arsenal are going to be exiting at the semi-final stage once again, as well as they did against Olympiacos a couple of seasons ago. Here's Lacazette now. Now it's with Thomas Partey. On to Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin's got Pepe on the overlap. Gives it to Pepe. Pepe into the box. To Bellerin. That's gone behind for a corner ball there. Bellerin couldn't get a clean shot away. Going to be interesting to see how much stoppage time there is at the end of this game for Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal side. As Williams over this corner ball now. Coming to the dying embers for this tie. William whips it in. There's a shove there. It looked like somebody was shoved down. It looked like Pepe was shoved to the floor there, in my opinion, but the referee has said no. I don't know if they're going to check anything here with VAR, or if they're going to go and book Nicola Pepe for... They went to... They have checked it with VAR and it's no foul, apparently. Although it did look like he was shoved to the floor there, Nicola Pepe, in my opinion, by the number 5, Pereira. Looks like the referee and the officials are not going to give that one, though. It's Villarreal getting 2 subs ready now to kind of just see out the last part of this game. And Alberto Moreno, former Liverpool man, being one of those. As we are entering stoppage time. And it's Moreno coming on for Pedreza, the former Leeds man. And also, the other substitute coming on is... let's see. Couldn't quite see who that is at the moment. It hasn't come up on my screen. But Arsenal got a throw in here with Bukayo Saka anyway. Pablo Marie. Doesn't say how many minutes of stoppage time either yet. It hasn't come up on the screen. Now Rob Holding. Now with Emil Smith-Rowe. Now William. Now Rob Holding for Arsenal. Out to Gabriel Martinelli. Mario Gaspar puts it behind. We're into 5 minutes of stoppage time. We've had about 30 seconds of that. As Villarreal look like they were very much set to see this one out as things stand, and they're almost on the counter attack there through Carlos Bacca as well. And what are they doing here? Referee is looking at something. He's gone to his pocket to book. Who's he booking here, the referee? Don't even know if he knows himself. He's gone to... So Eddie Nketiah has come on for Arsenal, and he's straight away been booked for a foul on Francis Cocker. I didn't even know who Eddie Nketiah come on. I didn't see him get and introduced there. He come on... I don't even know who he come on for. It didn't say. First involvement is a yellow card for the England under-21 international. So there's 3 minutes left of the game. And Villarreal are looking very likely to progress at the moment. Now, a free kick there, Lacazette, was it? No, thought Lacazette caught his man there, but the referee said no. But Pino went off for Moy Gomez. So Pino didn't finish the game. He come on as a substitute. It's been substituted there. And Eddie Nketiah come on for Hector Bellerin. So Arsenal really going for it in the closing minutes of this game. They really have to. It's, they've got 2 minutes of stoppage time to stay in this tie and for their season to stay alive as well. As Thomas Partey hooks it clear. That's Eddie Nketiah. There's a man down for Villarreal. And Eddie Nketiah was in collision with him again there. He's already been booked just a moment ago, remember. The man is not too long, he even just got on the field. I wonder if he's going to have to make way again in terms of a red card there, because he did stand on Mario Gaspar. But I don't know if they're going to look at that with VAR, or if they're going to just let it go. I think they have let it go here in terms of not looking at it again. But Eddie Nketiah there can count himself a little bit fortunate not to see out not to see out watching this game from the dressing room. Here's Raul Albiol now, plays it down the line towards Moreno, and it's gone behind off of him for an Arsenal goal kick. And Arsenal have a minute or so left of the game. And they've really just got to smash it forward now as Bernd Leno. And he's done just that. It's gone into Eddie Nketiah now. Of course, scored late the other week against Fulham, as I mentioned as well. But he's got to really, step up now as the former Leeds loanee as well. Here's Thomas Partey. On to Willian. Arsenal have got about 40 seconds to get the goal here that will see them through. Villarreal about 40 seconds to hold on. It's now Pablo Mari. Now it's with Bukayo Saka. On to Gabriel Martinelli. On to Thomas Partey now. To Pablo Mari. On to Rob Holding. About 15 seconds left. Can safely say that Villarreal are going to be heading through to the Europa League final. Unai Emery is going to get the better of Mikel Arteta, and it's going to be him who faces off against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United as well. Arsenal season is done. The game is done as well. Villarreal players are jubilant. Arsenal were devastated. Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal side are devastated. Unai Emery has gone to London, done the job, what he needed to do in terms of keeping Arsenal at bay, and it's them jumping up and down, celebrating at the moment on the Emirates pitch. The Arsenal players are on their knees, and Arsenal season is done. No European final for Arsenal, no trophy for Arsenal, as you see Lacazette trotting down the tunnel there, Smith Rowe and Bernd Leno on the floor, Thomas Partey going up to help. I think it was Emmanuel. Sorry, I think it was actually Emil Smith Rowe down. Sorry, it was down. Sorry, help him up, and Williams trudging off as well. Rob Holding is gritting his teeth, and but Leno's still down. I think he's just going to be helped up by his goalkeeper as well. Probably not his goalkeeper, by his goalkeeping coach. Sorry, and consoled there. But Unai Emery has got the better of Mikel Arteta. It's finished. Arsenal 0, Villarreal 0 on the night. Villarreal progressed 2-1 on aggregate. And it's them that progress through to the Europa League final to face off with Manchester United. There's no All-English final in the Europa League like there is the Champions League. And we'll hand you back to Russ Vernon in the studio, who was watching Manchester United against AS Roma. But for Arsenal, it is the end of their season. Although not the end of their season as such, but they've got nothing to play for now. It's a trophyless season for Mikel Arteta, and it's all to do in the summer for Mikel Arteta, Stan Kroenke, and the Arsenal board.
That is right, Mike Harniman. All to do for Arsenal in the summer transfer window. But Manchester United were defeated on the night, but progressed A5 on aggregate. Arsenal fired a blank tonight. So did Villarreal, but Villarreal progressed 2-1 on aggregate. And on May the 26th, Villarreal versus Manchester United in the Europa League final. And hopefully, on that Wednesday night, we'll be able to bring you commentary here on Football Commentary Live, the of alternative commentary. And Mike Harniman, just talk to me and tell me who's going to get your man of the match, sponsored by the excellent commentary service.
Yeah, so for me, I think my man of the match has to go to the man that was the rock at Villarreal centre-back role today. Their skipper as well, Raul Albiol, the number 3. Thought he was fantastic today. Took everything in stride, did everything he had to do. He was in the wars a little bit as well, in terms of a couple of injuries and bits and pieces throughout the game, but he soldiered on. He gets the coveted award as well. So Raul Albiol, the Villarreal number 3, gets today's man of the match.
Yes, man, you've picked Raul Albiol for man of the match. If you were looking from an Arsenal standpoint, was there anyone that really stood out to you from an Arsenal perspective tonight, Mike? Or do you think none of the Arsenal players deserved to get man of the match or play that well today?
Not really, to be honest. I think it's hard to pick an Arsenal player. I think there's a few that really, were below par. I think Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was poor today. Yes, he hit the post twice, but other than that, He was quite isolated up top in large parts, and Nicola Pepe was fairly quiet at Mill Smith Rowe. Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli when he come on, Alex Lacazette when he come on as well. They're all very, very quiet from from an Arsenal perspective, and I think, as I said before, it's all to do in the summer for Mikel Arteta and Stan Kroenke and the KSE Kroenke Sports Entertainment as well. But first things first is what do Arsenal do? Is Mikel Arteta going to be the man to take Arsenal forward as of next year?
Mike, if you were Stan Kroenke or KSC, what would your answer be to your own question? In your opinion, would Arteta be the man to take Arsenal forward next year?
So personally, I think last season was a great season, winning the FA Cup, but this season the club have gone backwards. I think it's been pretty stale, and there's no progression. The club are where we are in the league. We're about mid-table in the league almost, and didn't qualify for the finals of the Europa League. There, no FA Cup again as well. There's serious questions got to be asked over Mikel Arteta's future. For me, I think it's probably time that Arsenal look at bringing somebody in a bit more experience, because it certainly worked last season for Arsenal, but it really, this season it's been shambolic. Really, is the word.
Mike, if you were to fetch in somebody else, someone with a bit more experience, as you just mentioned, who would that be? Because a lot of people would have probably said Jose Mourinho would have been a top choice, knows how to win managers, not managers, knows how to win games, knows how to win the leagues, knows how to win the cups, but he's going to become Roma's manager from the summer. Who out there who do you feel will be able to take Arsenal forward and to that next step?
See, that's the burning question. Really, it's who is able to and who wants to. Who would want Arsenal's challenge? Rafa Benitez is a name that's been mentioned in other seasons. Of course, Sarri as well. His name's been mentioned in the last few days. Massimo Allegri was another name that's been mentioned in other seasons. But are any of those men going to want to take on an Arsenal side that are just really low on confidence now on the back of what has been a terrible season? And it would be a huge task for anyone to pick this side up. I don't know, if there's a manager worth his weight in gold, sorry, I should say, anywhere in the world that would fancy taking on this challenge right now.
Mike, considering he's just got the better over the two legs of Mikel Arteta, and with him being at Arsenal previously, would you fetch back Unai Emery for another spell, or would you rather see someone different to the Unai Emery in the Emery sausage should Mikel Arteta leave?
No, there's no chance Unai Emery would come back. And personally, I wouldn't take him back because he lost the dressing room. I think he started off okay. He started off fairly well, but then you could see there was a split in the dressing room after a couple of months. So not for me. I think you have to, start afresh really in terms of managerial appointments.
Yes, very interesting debate there. And just going to quickly close out now and finish off. Manchester United all through, but lost on the night. Lost 3-2 to Roma, but went through 8-5 on aggregate. Edison Cavani getting both goals for Roma. For Manchester United against Roma, should I say. And for Roma, the goal scorers for Roma was one involving a former player that played on the blue half of Manchester, Edin Dzeko, Brian Cristante, and Zalewski got the other Roma goal. Cavani, like I mentioned, with a brace as well tonight. And just want to say big congratulations to Clyde in this Scottish League One action tonight. They beat East Fife by 2-1. In the German Bundesliga, Hertha Berlin beat Freiburg by 3-0. And in the Portuguese Premier League, a big game in that league, Benfica against FC Porto, is always a big game in Portugal. One of the big games in Portugal, along with Porto Sporting Benfica as well. Finished Benfica 1, Porto 1 as well. There's been some other matches today as well if you want to find out how they went on in the Australian A League. I'm on the Portuguese Premier League. visit your local, visit the sports websites where you search all your news from, and you'll be able to get the results from there. But before, that's all we've got time for tonight. A big thanks to for the excellent commentary goes to Mike Harniman. Sorry for
Cheers,
covering
Russ.
Europe.
Of course, I'm back on Sunday with Matt as well. Covering, sorry, Saturday, isn't it? Covering
Yeah,
Manchester City and Chelsea to see if City can lift the title. And it's a massive, final couple of games for Arsenal now. 4 games left of the league season, and they've really got it all to do to try and finish in the Europa League for next season and see whether they can, keep up that excellent record of finishing in European football for over 20 seasons. I think it's 25 seasons in total. Where if Arsenal don't progress in terms of getting a few results in the last 4 games of the league season, then Arsenal will have no European football for the first time in 25 years, which is a massive loss, and will dictate what Arteta can do in terms of spending power for the summer.
yes, because a lot of the players, Mike, that you probably would have got if you're in Europe, you would have probably lost out on. But congratulations to Manchester United, commiserations to Arsenal and Roma, congratulations to Man United and Villarreal. May the 26th sees Villarreal and Manchester United go head to head in the Europa League final. May 29th sees Chelsea and Man City go head to head in the Champions League final, and we'll bring you both matches, commentary of both matches on Football Commentary Live. We'll take care and we'll see you very, very soon. Well, from all of us here at Football Commentary Live, thank you very much for listening and good night.